Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, fellow Amazonians. Good afternoon. This is 31st day of December 2024. We are almost into the year 2025, and it is but normal that we come to you so we can have a discussion, of course. This outing today is specifically to lay the path for Comrade Chris to come and talk to you, to give a review of what happened in the year just ending, 2024, and to explain to you what is in store for us in the new year 2025, which is just about a couple of hours away. Again, I would like to thank you for tuning in today. I would like to call on you, first of all, to share the link, so that others can join us during this very special occasion. I would like to, first of all, start by apologizing for the fact that we had not been able to bring to you ABS TV. For reasons which we have earlier explained. I don't need to go into that. But the good thing is that we are here now. We are here now, and from now on, you will have your normal programming on ABS TV, and we will do our best to continue covering all the activities that involve the liberation of the Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia from the colonial occupation of La République du Cameroon. The president is coming up soon. I don't want to take too much time. We will go into details as to what he has prepared for us. But I won't be doing it alone, though. I won't be doing it alone. I have some of my comrades who will be joining me. I believe Honorable Sama Thomas should be online at this time. I believe Chairman Jackson and Chairman Patrick should be on too. So if they are on, please, can I see you? Starting with Honorable Sama Thomas, please. If you are signed in, I would like to see you. Honorable Sama Thomas, are you there? Honorable Sama Thomas, are you there? If you are there, please let me see you. I can't see you yet. I cannot see you yet. Honorable Sama Thomas. If not, Chairman Jackson, Chairman Patrick, any of you, I can see Chairman Patrick is on. What about Chairman Jackson? Chairman Jackson, are you there? If not, Chairman Patrick, the new year is about here. It's almost here. It's a couple of hours away. And in fact, in some parts of the world, they have already seen the new year. I'm talking of places like maybe New Zealand. I think they are some of the very first places to see the new year. I believe they have already seen it. We are yet to get into it in the USA. Ground zero, a couple of hours away in ground zero. And ours is about, we are here around what? Almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're still ways away. Yeah, Chairman Patrick, I will give you this time to maybe say a word or two. Greetings to fellow Ambazonians watching. What do you think about the new year ending? Chairman Patrick.
All right. Thank you so much, Chairman Mike, and thank you to fellow Ambazonians. And today is the last day of 2024. And I just want to say thank you for those who have stood strong for this revolution and those who have dedicated their time and mind that we're going to see the end of this struggle. And one thing I'm just going to say is it's a moment of reflection. I said this before on this show that Ambazonians are the most intelligent people, and we have picked up the fight to take our people to the next level. And it's a moment for all of us to reflect if we are using the knowledge and our abilities the right way. So today is a day of reflection, and every Ambazonian should be able to get up and question their own ability and what they think and what they want to see for 2025. So thank you so much, and I hope we have a good show to educate and create that atmosphere where every Ambazonia is going to be involved to see that we get the revolution to the final destination.
Thank you, Patrick. Chairman, thank you for first of all for taking the time to join me today. I hope Honorable Sama Thomas and Chairman Jackson will be able to make it to the show as well. Yes, before we go on, we will first of all uh, take stock of the fact that this is now 2024. This liberation quest and the actual war that was declared by Paul Biya on Earth started since 2016. We can take it back to 2017. We can count how many years since then. And on several occasions, we have been counted out. La Republica has continued to count that Ambazonians will give up. Ambazonians will give up. But yet, the tenacity of the Ambazonian people and the zeal that they have to see their own freedom has withstood all the manipulations, all the corruption, all the antics that the enemy has tried to bring onto us, all the attempts at bribing some of our comrades to give up, even bribing some of our fighters to give up and to go to the so-called DDR, which everybody now sees that is a scam. It was just a ploy, a trap to get them into a cage where some of them are being slaughtered. So, 2024, Ambazonians are still standing strong. They are marching on, even more resistant and more hopeful. And with the changing situation, both in La Republic and globally, I mean, the political situation, where there is uncertainty as to the succession of Mr. Paul Biya. And I'd say so with a lot of reluctance because I really don't know if that guy is still alive, but they say he's alive. So, uh, Chairman Patrick, we know that at this time of year, Mr. Paul Biya, for the past 5 years, has had the habit of crawling out of whatever tomb he's been hiding in. He will crawl out of the tomb and pretend to talk to his people, right? I don't know. Do you have any idea that Mr. Bobby has crawled out of the tomb this time to talk to the people before going back to the tomb to lie there for who knows how long? Have you heard that he's come out to make his normal noise as usual?
Um, Chairman Mike, I have not seen anything to the contrary. We are all on the same page. We don't know if he's going to come out today or they are going to come out with one of the pre-recorded
Uh-huh.
message to the people. But unfortunately, wherever he is or whatever they are doing is just a replication of what they've done for the past 5 years. This is a guy, 90 something years old, who doesn't even know when to use the bathroom. But they think he's going to come out and make a speech. Everybody saw it. The example was in 2022 when he was here in the United States, or 2023 when he was here in the United States for the African Summit. The guy was on stage. He did not even know where he was. He was asking questions if they are important people in this hall, or if and he was there passing out gas on stage. So those are the kind of things you just ask yourself. How can a president be ruling people and he doesn't even know what is going on his own body? So this is just one of those things that we don't care if he comes out or not, but you cannot be ruling some people and you don't come out. You come out twice a year, 11 February and New Year Eve. That is the only time people see who is leading them. So that is a country we call a nation with intelligent, smart people. but they are letting things happen in that direction and nobody's speaking up. But unfortunately, even the French, when Napoleon Bonaparte was living the life that he was even younger than Paul Biya. He did
Mhm.
not see himself coming down one day. He did not see his empire coming down one day. But we will say we are not wishing death on anybody, but we pray that Paul Biya should see the end of what he has done to this country, even to the Ambazonian people. We don't care about what he's doing to his people because the people have accepted their demise. They have decided that they are going to sit in the sinking ship. But unfortunately, Ambazonians are not there, and we don't care if he comes up or not. But we know he's going to come out one of those pre-recorded messages today.
Yeah, and talking about that, the Chairman Party, we saw recently what happened in Kenya, where their parliament was about to pass a certain finance bill, which was very unpopular with the people. And the people rose up, and the government was forced to retreat. We saw recently in La Republic of Cameroon where just these exorbitant taxes on almost everything has been imposed on the La Republic of Cameroon citizens. And you would think that in a country where there are people who think and reason and feel, nothing has happened. Just nothing, not even street protests. They're just accepting everything that is thrown at them. And I don't know what Kool-Aid these people are drinking. Uh, Previously, they were counting on Ambazonians to always stand up and fight for them, fight for all those things that were not going on right in that country, and then they will come in and reap the benefits. But of course, Ambazonians are fighting a different fight now. They're fighting for their own country, apart from La Republic of Cameroon. So they are left stuck. And I was listening to an audio just this afternoon where one very top insider of La Republic of Cameroon, a man from the Bulu tribe, was cautioning his brothers and sisters to brace themselves for what is about to happen. That for 42 years, they have lauded it on their own very countrymen, and that they should prepare themselves for what is coming. Because, as he acknowledged, if it were for genuine democracy, there is no way that they would ever win an election. Because, as he mentioned, there are just about 500,000 of them. And that there is no way they can win an election. And they have mismanaged the country so much that the repercussions are coming. And he was cautioning his people to be ready for it. That is what is impending in the Republic of Cameroon. So I believe that Comrade Chris, in his upcoming speech, will lay out the advantages that are now very much apparent to Ambazonians this coming year, 2025, with the impasse, the uncertainty that exists in La Republic of Cameroon. It is a golden opportunity for Ambazonians to rise up, come together, put their differences aside, and for once claim their territory and install their government in Boya that will be accountable to the people. That is the opportunity we have. And we cannot allow this to go by without us taking advantage of it, because they say once you miss a golden opportunity, it may not come again for maybe another century. So, Chairman Patrick, I just want you to weigh in on this point that this it's just like there is a storm that has been the clouds have been gathering over La Republic for quite some time now, and this storm is about to start. And you can see their cheeks running, and they don't they're confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to expect. But it is a storm that will certainly come. What can you tell Ambazonians, especially those who for some time now have been kind of withdrawn for one reason or the other? What do you have to tell them with regards to these opportunities that are very much apparent in the horizon for Ambazonians? I can't hear you, Chairman.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, you're okay now.
Yes. Unfortunately, Ambazonians have already witnessed and seen the advantages of being together. In 2018, 19, and up to 20, what Ambazonia was doing at that time was shaking the core of their enemy, fundraising, the togetherness, and even what we were able to do on the ground to get them running. So if Ambazonians are not able to go back to that 2018, 2019, 2020 area, then we are going to be here for a very long time. We saw the positive things that were happening during those periods. So it's a moment for all of us to come back and say the right opportunity is here. The only problem is La Republique being what they are. If you are not careful, they might turn around and postpone their election indefinitely. They can do it. Nobody's going to say a word to them. But if they are going to do any elections, we know it's not going to happen in Ambazonia. It will be a moment for Ambazonia to be ready. We have to keep our powder dry because the storm is about to ensue in that area. People are going to be running. Everybody's going to be looking for a safe haven. But we, Amazonia, as good people, we will give safe haven to those who are with us, those who are for us. But on the other hand, it will not happen if Ambazonians cannot come together and ask the right questions and say, when we are together, we can move mountains. So the opportunity is now for Ambazonia. La Republique is on its knees. What they are doing in Ambazonia today is just finding a reason to go to the International Monetary Fund to borrow money. They are looking for reasons. They have, at this point, if you look around, if you are talking to people on the ground, they have in paper giving out contracts left, right, and center in Ambazonia, but they do not have roads in their own territory. What are they doing? They are trying to appease the people to create that atmosphere where they can go borrow money and say, we have projects that we need to execute. And their colonial master, France, will give them the money because they know that is the only way they are going to keep their grip on the La Republique. If they don't give the money, the country is going to collapse. They are going to collapse. The government will collapse, and France will lose their footing in that territory. So there's just a lot going on, but it is an opportunity for every Amazonian. Even if you were not part of this struggle, we need every Amazonian in 2025 to reflect on what we can do as one to move this revolution to the next level and to create the impact that the international community will be running to figure out how to get a resolution. If they cannot come, the Amazonian people can do it. We can do it. La Republic, the military is there. The only thing they do is extort money from our people. They are not even
Yes.
fighting.
Mhm.
So
Of course.
it's our moment.
Yeah, talk about their military. I think they have gone into the survival mode. You know, they are not going out there and exposing themselves again to be killed carelessly, despite the fact that our boys have become very. They have had some level of ingenuity, and they are still able to go out there and fish them out and do what needs to be done. I see Obisama Thomas is on now. Obisama Thomas. There are some who say, oh, so many mistakes have been made in this struggle this far, and that is the reason why they are not actively supporting. Now, given the fact that
Yeah,
you
good afternoon, gentlemen, and happy New Year you over there.
yes, happy New Year to you, Mr. Matamas. I can see you now. Though your network is a bit shaky, but I hope it gets better. As I was saying, as I was saying, um, as I was saying, there are some amongst us who have said so many mistakes have been made in the struggle, and that for that reason, that is why they are starting out. I will use this analogy. You have your child, You are carrying this child on your lap, and the child messes up and saws you. Are you going to throw away the child, or are you going to clean up whatever mess the child has made and preserve your child? This is the time that Ambazonians need to know what priorities are important to them. We cannot focus on the mistakes we have made, which have been many. We acknowledge that mistakes have been made. Many mistakes have been made. But are we going to focus on those mistakes and miss the big picture, the big goal, the big trophy that is ahead? Or are we going to get past those mistakes, make sure we get to the goal that we are seeking, and then we can come back and look at who did what, when, and why, and then apply, if need be, uh, uh, if there are penalties that some have to pay, then let's address that at the end. But if we have to stop now and try to address everything before we get to our finish line, then we'll be making a huge mistake. Don't you think so? And I just want you to talk to Ambazonians who have this mentality, which is very self-defeating. It does not. It does not. It does not jive with what a winner, the mindset of a winner. You don't win just because in the absence of mistakes. You win regardless of whether there are mistakes or not. Honorable Samuel Thomas, what do you have to say about that? Hello? Honorable Samuel Thomas, you seem frozen. Can you hear us? I think Honorable Samuel Thomas is frozen. I think there's some network. He's having some network issues. He is having some network issues. Chairman Patrick, if you can take on this, what do you have to say to those who keep saying, "Oh, so many mistakes have been made," which is not without some truth in it. Mistakes have been made, and we are not even sure that mistakes will not be made again. But do we focus on those mistakes and miss the big picture? What do you have to say?
Well, Chairman, my one thing that every Ambazonia is supposed to understand is that when this war was declared on the people of Ambazonian, we were not ready. We have never been in war. It fell on us. And we have learned as the day goes by. And what we have been able to withstand for 8 years, even La Republic themselves, they are still surprised that they are still fighting within the Amazonian territory for this number of years because they had everything. They had the sponsors, they had the equipment, they had a trained military, but the Amazonian dedication and the idea that people were defending their land has given our Amazonians the ability to withstand the storm that La Republic thought they were bringing over us. So this will not, La Republic would never. It might take them, they might think it's going to be 10, 20, 30 years. No people that have decided to fight for their rights and have picked up weapons have ever dropped those weapons without a settlement, without an agreement on what direction things are supposed to go. So La Republic can keep talking about anything, and our people who are sitting on the sidelines should reflect on what they are thinking. You might think you are investing, you are doing this in Amazonia because you are not part of the fight, but I'll tell you the insecurity that has plagued our territory. If this thing is not resolved, the insecurity will never get any better, and you will never enjoy anything that you are investing in Amazonia. So it is for all of us to come together and get our territory to be secured, get our people to be free so that you can all rebuild in a way that we all want it to be rebuilt. It's not going to be an individual effort or any group's effort. It's for every son and daughter of Amazonia to come together with the ideas so that we can all move forward and create the Amazonia that we want for the future of our children, and an Amazonia that has the law and order that we expect in every society.
Yeah, Chairman Patrick, talking about these things. it is becoming very clear that even those of our brothers who have chosen to be enablers of the annexation of La Republic Cameroon, I'm here referring to the likes of Mbela Moki. Even they are beginning to realize that we have been right all along. We have been right all along. I think you saw the video recently of Mbela Moki in their so-called parliament lamenting. I almost thought Mbela Moki was an Ambazonian fighter because the things he was saying are the same things we have been saying all along, and he was lamenting there, and he was almost in tears, begging and complaining about those same things we have talked about. The failed promises, the failed projects, promise over promise, ring road, deep sea port, this, and none of those things have ever been accomplished. And these promises, I remember Paul Biya himself saying at one time that he was personally going to supervise the construction of the ring road. Till this day, not even a meter of ring road has ever been constructed. So you see, Belamoki, I felt sorry for him. He almost looked like an amber fighter in there. There was no difference between him and Mancho BBC. There was no difference between him and
if you enter the class to make a story,
when we say these
boys
things,
and girls, are you ready to read?
yeah, when we say these things, and we will listen to a clip of that shortly. When we say these things, they call us what? They call us terrorists. But there is Mbelamoki lamenting in their so-called parliament, saying the very things we have been saying. So, what I have come to conclude is the fact that even within the inner core of La Republic Cameroon, the Ambazonians who have decided to be traitors, to be Judases against their own people, they know the truth. The only difference is that they prefer their stomachs to what is good for all Ambazonians. They prefer to go there and pick crumbs for themselves than to work for an Ambazonian that will be good for all of us. Because Mbela Moki's lamentations are a clear indication of that. And since Mbela Moki made those lamentations within their so-called parliament, what has happened? What has happened? Has there been any change? Have you heard that anything has been done to address his concern? As a matter of fact, they were making fun of him when he was doing that. He was being chided when he was making those statements. And that is what we are saying, that there is no change that will come from within La Republica. We can plead, we can beg, we can do anything as long as we continue to coexist with La Republica Cameroon. We are doomed to remain in a state of perpetual misery, poverty, corruption, disease, and death. That is our predicament. The only option we have is to sever this unholy tie that was brought onto us against our will, first of all, with La Republica Cameroon. General Patrick, I don't know if we should get a clip of that Mbela Moki before we go on with the commentary. If we can, if the studio can play that.
Here. If you enter the class to make a story, you say, boys and girls, are you ready to hear my story? They will say, yes, what is your story about? My story is about roads. And if the Southwesterner wants to talk in this country, the first outcry is roads. Mr. Minister of Public Works, I want you, with all due respect, to understand the cries that are coming from this house tonight. They're reflections, a perfect reflection of the cries of the average Cameroonian. The question most Cameroonians have for you is that our ministers who are charged with the duty of taking care of the road network in our country, do they circulate in this country by air or by road? How can it be that the economic capital is not properly connected to the national capital of our country? What image are we giving to the world? Mr. Minister, a few days ago you came around with some explanations after the Delegate General for National Security spoke out about the road network in the country. Yes, Mr. Minister, as I said, with all due respect, have you ever lost a relation because of bad roads, Mr. Minister? When the head of state visited Boya and people put their complaints to him, he made a statement I will never forget. As a YCPD militant, the head of state said the crown cannot be happy when the cottage is not happy. Mr. Minister, every day Cameroonians are dying because of bad roads. For how long are we going to cry as a people? For how long are Cameroonians going to shout out? We have elections next year. What do you want us? Look, we are leaving this place, for those of us who live in the communities, we are not safe because people will say we have gone and voted what? People will ask those questions. We don't have answers, no matter what CRTV is trying to portray now. I come from the southwest. We have 6 divisions. How many of those divisions are adequately linked to the regional headquarters? The regional headquarters itself is not linked to the economic capital, which is the way out. Now, we condemn English-speaking Cameroonians for being terrorists. Let me reveal this to all of you, the government bench. You are giving a lot of work to our gallant military boys. If you want to condemn the people of Lebialem and say they subscribe to Ambzonia tendencies, it is simple. The bottom line is underdevelopment. There are no roads. The minister mentioned Ekondo Titi Kumba here when he last came here. There is no road to Ekondo Titi, sir. Even a motorbike cannot go to Ekondo Titi. Let us be frank. We cannot be pretending here. We should call a spade a spade. People have resorted to going by sea to Ndian Division. Mr. President, I understand you, but give me some time to cry to you. Translate the cry of Cameroonians to you. This is what I'm saying. It is appalling. It is bad. The situation is bad. Other speakers have mentioned areas I don't want to mention. But look at, you cannot travel from economic capital to the national capital. You cannot travel to Kribi, which is to sell Cameroon, the future of our nation. Mr. Minister, we saw you signing a document saying that there will be a road from Bikoko to West Coast Idi now. The people of the west, of the southwest, are used to what you are trying to do. A contract was signed to plant a bitumen plant in Limbe. Till date, it is not there. A cement factory, it is not there. The Limbe seaport, all, Tico airport, is this, tell us, is this another deception? Mr. President, no. Let us end this.
It is almost comical, but it is sad. It is sad to see Mbelamoki almost in tears there. I tell you this. I tell Mbelamoki, this is a message I have for him. Mbelamoki, if you still have not understood who La République Cameroon is, let me tell you this. You can cry and cry until blood will flow out of your eyes. They don't care. They don't give a damn. They don't care about you. They don't care what you've said there has simply gone in from through one ear and come out the other ear. It doesn't mean a damn thing to them. In fact, these people don't have souls. They don't have souls. They don't feel for you. So all your tears there are just a waste of time. If Paul Biya is your God, Mbelamoki, I hear you calling his name there as if he's some God that will come to your rescue. That God is a dead God. Okay? He will not hear you. He will not save you. You are stuck. You are in a ditch. And the only way you can get out of Mbelemoki is by joining the cause for the liberation of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. That's the only hope we have. Your lamentations there will not take you anywhere. No deep sea port will be constructed. No ring road will be constructed. No road will be constructed. You are stuck. So get this clear, get this through your thick skull and realize that what you are hoping for and begging for will not come through that structure you are serving in. It will not come. All right? Cheba Patrick, I almost felt sorry for Mbelemoki there for a moment, but I guess he's trying to prove to the people of the Southern Cameroons, and he's calling us. The one mistake he's making there is referring to us as Cameroonians. That is insulting. He fails to understand that when he calls us Cameroonians, it's an insult because we had long given up that colonial appellation. What do you have to say there, Chairman Patrick?
Well, Chairman, my one thing I would say is like Mbelemoki was living somewhere in space, and out of the story, he just fell off from nowhere and discovered that this country is like that. This is the same guy that was in Boya a few months ago, castigating the Ambazonian fighter,
Exactly.
bringing divisive tendency that the people of Southwest will never work with the people of Northwest to fight against the government. Why is he crying today? Maybe he lost a relative on the highway in Tiko Douala Road, or maybe he got a tire puncture while going to Boya or something of that sort. That's why his brains have come back to start reasoning like somebody that is seeing the reality, but lying to himself that everything is okay. So we are living in a country that I would say 90%, 99% of these people who are saying Ambazonians are crazy, they know the reality, but they refuse to accept the reality. But unfortunately, it will be one person after the other that will realize that the truth can never be hidden. When a woman gets pregnant, she might use everything to tie her stomach and say, "Oh, I'm not pregnant." But 9 months later, that baby is going to come out. They are going to see the reality.
Yeah, Chairman Patrick. I think the president is about to speak to Ambazonians. So let's get ready to get the speech from the president, and we will follow with a post commentary after the speech, please. I think the speech is coming up momentarily. If our discussion is interrupted with a speech, then we should understand it was expected. All right.
fellow Ambazonians. As we stand on the threshold of a new year, my heart overflows with gratitude and admiration for the resilience, courage, and unwavering dedication of our people. I bring you warm greetings and solidarity from the interim government and all those who continue to champion the cause of our liberation. Let me begin by extending heartfelt thanks to every individual and family and community that has sacrificed time, resources, and effort to sustain this struggle this far. To those who have stood steadfast in their support, whether through financial contributions, advocacy, or personal sacrifices, you are the lifeblood of our movement. You are the last men and women standing, as we say. Your unwavering commitment has been a beacon of hope, illuminating the path towards our freedom. But let me also address those among us who, for various reasons, have hesitated to fully support this noble cause. Some point to concerns about mismanagement. Others question the winnability of this war, and some have been hurt by the actions of certain individuals within our ranks. Others still citing the lack of unity among leaders or demanding to see more progress have withheld their contributions. To all of you, I say this with the deepest respect and a sense of urgency. These reasons, though understandable, are not sufficient to justify inaction in the face of our collective struggle for survival and freedom. As we approach October 2025, let's be reminded it will mark 9 long years since a small group of hastily assembled freedom fighters stood up to a trained and well-funded army of La République du Cameroon. For nearly a decade, our courageous restoration fighters have defied all odds, holding the line against an annexationist regime that seeks to crush our dreams of self-determination. Yet, it marvels me when some still claim they do not see progress or that this war cannot be won. Let us reflect on this. How has untrained, under-equipped, and largely unsupported fighters managed to hold one of Africa's most brutal regimes at bay for nearly 9 years? This alone is a demonstration to the indomitable spirit of Ambazonians and the righteousness of our cause. When I spoke recently to someone who wondered why the Bamilekis in La République du Cameroon, despite their wealth and their influence, are not fighting for their rights, I explained to her the painful truth. The last time Bamilekis fought, they lost. They lost, and the consequences were catastrophic. Today, they prioritize protecting their investments, their wealth, fearing a devastating repercussions of another failed fight. This is the harsh reality of defeat, and it should serve as a stark warning to us. If we give up now, thinking we can revisit this struggle in the future, we risk not just losing the war, but losing the very identity of Ambazonia. La République du Cameroon unleashed unimaginable brutality upon us, as they did to the Bamilekis, leaving no room for any resurgence. The time for Ambazonia is therefore now or never. To those who say the war isn't winnable, consider this. Cameroon's economy is crumbling under the weight of this conflict. Inflation is taking its toll, and their resources are stretched thin by the exorbitant cost of maintaining this war. How much longer can they sustain this? Their struggle is our progress. Every day that we resist is a step closer to victory. To those who decry mismanagement or the kidnappings and ransom takings by rogue elements on ground zero, let me acknowledge that these are indeed painful realities. However, these are not unique to our struggle. They are unfortunate byproducts of war. We must confront these challenges head on. But they cannot be reasons, ladies and gentlemen, to abandon support for our cause. The stakes are too high. To those who lament the lack of unity among our leaders, I remind you that no single struggle in history has ever achieved 100% unity. The American Revolution, the South African anti-apartheid movement, none, and I mean zero of these were without internal divisions. What matters is that we use our discernment to support the leaders and groups we believe have the vision and capacity to lead us to victory, and they are doing the right thing. Unity is an ideal we strive to achieve, but it should never be a precondition for support and action. As we step into the new year, I am pleased to share that significant efforts, ladies and gentlemen, are underway to address some of these concerns. The Consultative Commission, a critical mass of Ambazonian stakeholders and leaders, is working tirelessly to forge a more unified front. This commission has received overwhelming international endorsement from our international partners, who recognize it as a viable platform for advancing our struggle and resolving this conflict. In 2025, we aim to solidify this alliance further. Plans are already in motion for a leadership summit in a month's time, followed by an all-Ambazonia International Summit. These gatherings will serve as opportunities to consolidate our strategies, strengthen our alliances, and present a united front to the world. For those who have hesitated to support due to perceived disunity, I urge you to see these developments as evidence of our commitment to addressing this issue. And to every Ambazonian listening to me today, whether at home or abroad, this is my plea to you. Let us not allow our grievances, our doubts or frustrations to paralyze a just cause. Let us not allow the actions of a few to define our collective struggle. This is a fight for our very existence, for the future of our children and generations yet unborn. I beg those who have withheld their financial support to please reconsider. Look at how far we have come. Look at the cracks in the armor of La République du Cameroon. Their desperation is evident in their escalating brutality, their failing economy, and their inability to quash our resistance. This is progress, and it has been achieved through the sacrifices of many. Imagine how much more we could achieve if all Ambazonians, especially those in the diaspora, come on board with financial support. Let us also remember that wars are not won on the battlefield alone. They are won in the hearts and minds of the people. They are won through resilience. They are won through perseverance, and the unyielding belief in a cause greater than oneself. The time for Ambazonia is now. There will be no second chance if we miss this one. As we step into this crucial year 2025, let us do so with a spirit of unwavering determination. For this year promises to be the most critical of all the years we have traversed in our just cause. The winds of change are sweeping across the global political landscape, presenting us with a once-in-a-generation window of opportunity to advance the cause of Ambazonia's freedom and sovereignty. We must, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, seize these opportunities with both hands, or risk seeing them slip away, perhaps forever. Change is on the horizon in La République du Cameroon in 2025. The signs are clear. Their current political status quo is unsustainable. The oppressive regime led by a gerontocratic leadership detached from the realities of its people is faltering under the weight of its own corruption and suppression. This brewing transition is not just a moment of internal reckoning for La République du Cameroon. It is an opening for us, the resilient people of Ambazonia, to strike decisive blows in our quest for liberation. Transitions breed uncertainty, and uncertainty in our oppressors' camp is our advantage. It creates gaps in their focus and fractures their resolve. This is why it is imperative for us to amplify our restoration fighters' actions on the ground by doing more recruitment and funding. Each strike, each operation, and each bold act of resistance destabilizes the already fragile foundation of the regime in Yaoundé. It forces them to expand resources, lose credibility, and erode their control over our homeland. We must ensure that their transition is not one of continuity, but one that paves the way for our ultimate emancipation. On the global stage, the recent change in leadership in the United States of America provides us with an unparalleled opportunity window. For the first time in years, we have a leader in the most powerful nation on earth who has expressed sympathy before for the plight of oppressed peoples and who crucially believes in our cause. This alignment is a rare blessing, one that we cannot afford to squander. The United States holds enormous sway, ladies and gentlemen, over international affairs. Their recognition or even tacit support can be the tipping point in our struggle. But support is never given freely. It must be earned through diplomacy, advocacy, and action. This is why our diplomatic efforts must be stepped up to unprecedented levels. We need to work tirelessly with lobbyists, engage policymakers, and ensure that Ambazonia's struggle remains at the forefront of international discussions. Every Ambazonian in the diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, must see themselves as an ambassador, a voice for the voiceless, back at home. Diplomacy alone, however, will not suffice. It must be reinforced by action on the ground. The international community is moved, not by words alone, but by the reality of our struggle. When our restoration fighters demonstrate resilience, strategy, and commitment, they send a powerful message to the world that Ambazonia is a nation determined to be free. Their actions create the urgency that propels diplomatic efforts forward. Without action, ground action, ladies and gentlemen, diplomacy risks becoming a hollow exercise. This is why I am calling for a two-pronged approach that is both strategic and urgent. On the one hand, we must triple our restoration fighters in every county and local government area. On the other hand, we must rally Ambazonians around the globe to provide the financial resources necessary to sustain both our fighters and our diplomatic initiatives. To achieve the critical mass needed for effective resistance, we must prioritize recruitment. If your county or local government area has no fighters or only a few, now is the time to do so, to act. Launch a recruitment drive immediately. We need young men and women who understand the stakes, who are ready to stand as defenders of their land, of their people, and their future. We need new generals and commanders to emerge, leaders who can inspire and organize our forces at a local level, ensuring that every inch of Ambazonia is covered by a vigilant and determined resistance. Recruitment, ARF recruitment, is not just about numbers. It is about building a force that embodies the spirit of Ambazonian resilience. Our fighters must be equipped, trained, and motivated. They must understand that their actions today are shaping the destiny of generations to come. Let every Ambazonian family see this as their contribution to history. Let every village and town recognize that their liberation begins with their own efforts. Fellow Ambazonians, none of this can happen without resources. It is a hard truth that wars are not won on ideals alone, but on the ability to sustain the fight. This is why I am making an urgent appeal to all Ambazonians today, whether you are well-to-do or can only offer your widow's mite, to step forward and contribute. Contribute. The time for hesitancy is over. The time for action is now. I urge you to please get to ambazoniadues.com and please make your contributions. Every bullet, every piece of equipment, every meal for a restoration fighter, and every diplomatic mission depends on our contributions. If we let this window of opportunity close, the time between now and when the transition in La République du Cameroon takes place, without achieving our goal, history will judge us harshly. The sacrifices made by our martyrs and the suffering endured by our own people demand that we rise to this moment. Let us honor their sacrifices by ensuring that no fighter goes without support and that no diplomatic opportunity goes unfunded. The urgency of this moment cannot be overstated. The brewing transition in La République du Cameroon and the favorable leadership in the United States are aligning like stars in our favor. But these opportunities are fleeting. If we fail to act decisively, we may find ourselves looking back with regret, wondering what might have happened, what might have been. Let us not be the generation that hesitated and lost. Let us be the generation that acted and won. Now, my appeal to the Norwegian authorities. Injustice, when left unchecked, corrodes the very foundations of justice system that claim to uphold fairness, equality, and the rule of law. For over 2 years, several Ambazonian citizens residing in the United States have faced indictment and await trial. Their cases have languished without hearing, leaving them in legal limbo. Similarly, the arrest and prolonged detention of Dr. Cho Ayaba by the Norwegian authorities since October on allegations of crimes against humanity raises profound concerns about adherence to international legal norms and the principles of justice. Western nations, including Norway, have long positioned themselves as global champions of justice, often lecturing others on the imperative of swift trials and due process. Yet, Norway's handling of Dr. Ayaba's case betrays these principles. Over 90 days have passed since his arrest, yet the courts in Norway have failed to either bring formal charges against him or present credible evidence justifying his continued detention. This silence not only undermines the credibility of the Norwegian justice system, but also sets a troubling precedent for the selective application of legal standards in Norway. If there is evidence substantiating the arrest of Dr. Ayaba, the Norwegian authorities have a legal and moral obligation to present it without delay and proceed with a fair and transparent trial. To indefinitely detain an individual without charge or trial constitutes a flagrant violation of internationally recognized legal standards, including the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, to which Norway is a party. Article 9 of the ICCPR explicitly guarantees that no individual shall be subjected to arbitrary detention and mandates the right to a prompt trial or release. It is difficult to escape the conclusion that Dr. Ayaba's detention reflects a double standard. Had he been a Norwegian citizen, would he still be subjected to this prolonged incarceration without due process? Such unequal treatment calls into question the impartiality of the Norwegian judicial system and raises suspicions of political motivations behind his arrest. The interim government of Ambzonia, on behalf of its people, demands that Norway either immediately release Dr. Ayaba or swiftly initiate a transparent trial based on any credible evidence it claims to possess. Failure to do so risks Norway being complicit in what could be perceived as a politically motivated hit job orchestrated at the behest of external actors, notably the regime in La République du Cameroon. Fellow Ambazonians, let us commit with renewed vigor to the mission that lies ahead of us. We are determined here to spend the months ahead rigorously strategizing and seizing every window of opportunity that comes our way. I wish every group and leader would think this way. This is not the time for fragmented pursuits or isolated efforts. We will move forward together as one united people, guided by a singular purpose, the liberation of Ambazonia. Gone are the days when factions believe they could win this war all on their own. Those illusions must be abandoned. This is the moment when every group and leader must silence their chants of self-promotion and step into the greater good that is unity. It is a time for all factions and leaders, stakeholders to join the consultative commission where every voice can contribute to the collective strength of our struggle. Let it be known that this is the moment for action, not empty expertise. I realize that far too many in this our crusade have positioned themselves as critics and commentators. They are quick to tell us how the struggle should be organized. Yet, absent when their financial or material support is needed most. To those who demand more action on the ground, I say this: your demands are valid, but they require resources. If you want sustained action, then start funding it. If you want ABS to operate without interruption, then step up and ensure its survival. This struggle does not thrive on words alone. It thrives on sacrifice and commitment. The reality we face is stark. In this critical phase, we have more experts than we have financial supporters. Let me make this very clear. It is not expertise alone that wins battles. It is action backed by resources. Do you want the interim government to act in a certain way, to do things in a certain way? Then come out and be counted. Let your voice and ideas be part of the collective vision. Do you think your ideas are the solution? Join forces with us in the interim government and let your contributions pave the way for success. Please put to rest the notion that the interim government must dissolve for you to function. That is a misguided and destructive idea. This interim government is the backbone of our struggle. It is what gives our prisoners hope, what keeps our fighters in the bush courageous, and it is what reminds us all that Ambazonians' liberation is not a distant dream but an achievable reality. Let me address those whispering voices, those that resemble the agents of La République du Cameroon, those who think that the better way is the dissolution of some groups. We refuse to entertain defeatist narratives. Instead, we stand resolute, knowing that the future belongs to those who persevere with faith and unity. To our valiant restoration fighters, the pride of Ambazonia, I salute you. You are the shield of our people and the sword of our liberation. To those who laid down their lives for this struggle in 2024, we will never forget about you or repay you, but we honor your memory with profound gratitude. Your sacrifices are not in vain. They are the fuel that keeps us fighting and pushing forward. We pray that God blesses the fighters still in the bush, defending our homeland with unmatched bravery. May the Almighty protect and deliver you from every assault of La République du Cameroon. May He grant you courage, resilience, and the unyielding spirit to carry on until victory is secured. And to the civilians on ground zero, your resilience inspires us all. You have endured hardship with grace and stand firm in the face of oppression. Freedom, as history teaches us, is never cheap, nor is it easily won. But remember how far we have come and how faithful God has been to the oppressed throughout history. The Lord, according to the group book, is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit, says the psalmist. Hold on to this promise, ladies and gentlemen. Persevere just a little longer and add prayers to your endurance. Victory is closer than it appears. And when it comes, it will be because of your unwavering faith and determination. To the Ambazonian diaspora, you are the unsung heroes of this struggle. Your financial support, your advocacy, and your belief in the cause have kept the flame of hope burning brightly. Again, you are the proverbial last man standing, the diehards who refuse to give up, even when the odds seem insurmountable. You are the minority who will save Ambazonia. I urge you not to grow weary in supporting the cause. This is the critical window of opportunity we've prayed for, and it requires every ounce of your dedication and generosity. Let us pray that this year, 2025, God's hand will rest mightily upon every Ambazonian. May He protect us all, provide for us, and make our faces to shine with hope and determination. May He prosper our efforts and deliver La République du Cameroon into our hands. In the words of the prophet Isaiah, and I quote, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." We claim this promise for Ambazonia in this 2025 in Jesus' name. Long live the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Short live the struggle. Together, united and resolute, we march forward to victory.
To Thrive America, the flagship model, offers personalized coaching and assistance to newly arrived individuals into the country through a concierge service and one-stop resource on your phone. The app supports essential areas of integration, such as job search strategies, benefits applications, financial literacy, credit repair, legal guidance, and more. The platform aims to become the go-to resource as you navigate the complexities of settling into a new country.
Fellow Ambazonians, it's a pleasure having you again. We are back again. We're back again here on ABS TV after listening to President Comrade Chris make his end of year speech to Ambazonians. I hope my comrades, Chairman Patrick, I don't know if Chairman Jackson or Sama Thomas have been able to connect. I don't know if you've been able to connect. I don't know who is on. Please let me know who is on. Let me know who is on. I'd like to see you so we can do the post speech analysis briefly for maybe 30, 45 minutes before we call it a day. I don't know who is there, but while they are getting set, let me just go through some of the points that the president highlighted in his speech. He highlighted the fact that we have been able to stand our ground against La République du Cameroon for the past 8 years, despite the very conspicuous superiority of the La République du Cameroon military. It's a military that is professionally trained, but we Ambazonians have been able to resist them, to stand our grounds, and to defend our territory. And as such, we have inflicted some very serious punishment on the criminal soldiers of La République du Cameroon. So we have been standing our grounds for the past 8 years, and there is no sign that we are giving up. As a matter of fact, we are regrouping and making the necessary plans for the last assault that will take us to victory. So the president highlighted that. Also, he highlighted the fact that efforts are underway, and there have been a lot of concerns. Honorable Thomas, I'm glad to see you, and I really hope that your network is more steady this time so that we can do it. Let me just go through these points, and when I come to you, you can fill in whatever I missed. So the president also highlighted the fact that there are some efforts underway that will lead to Ambazonians coming together. And these efforts are being coordinated under the Consultative Commission. They are leading this initiative. There's a good number of leaders who have come together under this structure to make sure that, first of all, as the president highlighted, there will first of all be a leadership summit, which I think is coming up very, very soon. A leadership summit is coming up very soon. And thereafter, there will be the scheduling of an all-amber conference where Ambazonians will come together to rethink, re-strategize, and forge ahead for the last lap of this struggle. So that is all coming up this year, 2025. As a matter of fact, I think that's coming up in the very early part of 2025. Now, he also highlighted the fact that given the number of opportunities that are very, very apparent out there, being the lack of leadership in the La République du Cameroon, the quagmire that awaits them with regards to the succession of Mr. Paul Biya, and there's certain movements within in the international arena, political arena, with regards to especially the United States of America, that there are certain opportunities that are looking to be very, very favorable to our cause. And it is a golden opportunity for us to come together, putting aside our differences, and taking advantage of these opportunities that are emerging to drive this struggle to victory. Now, he also reiterated the need for us to be more aggressive with regards to our diplomacy, but also underscored the fact that diplomacy requires uh, ground action as legs to run on. We cannot have diplomacy without the ground action on the ground to help us succeed. So he highlighted that we need to succeed with our diplomacy, but we also need action on the ground to help us do that. Now, here, there's also, of course, I mentioned the golden opportunities that exist right now with the very conspicuous absence of leadership in the Republic of Cameroon. Now, the key words that should be takeaway message, one of the takeaway messages, which I should come back to this. He also mentioned that victory is closer than we seem to see. The victory of the Amazonian people is much closer than some of us seem to realize. That we should not give in to desperation. We should not be given to naysayers, blacklegs, and enablers who are fond of sending out very discouraging messages out there with the intent of discouraging us, making us feel hopeless. But rather, we should focus on the task ahead, and that victory is very, very near. Um, Now, to those who like to just sit back and criticize without doing anything, President Kamala Chris told them, look, this is not the time for just backbench criticism. If you have better ideas, those ideas are very much welcome, but you have to come forth and present those ideas. If we just sit back there and you grumble without coming forth with those ideas, maybe those are the ideas that will take us to victory. But you have to be able to come forth and put them on the table so we can examine them, take advantage of them, and use them for our liberation. So it is the time for us to get rid of self-destructive tendencies that are not adding any value to our struggle. Um, at the international scene, again, he mentioned one of our comrades, Comrade Ayabacho, who is in some legal trouble, and he's calling on the Norwegians to set an example of how legal proceedings are supposed to be pursued. That it should be in accordance with the recognized covenants where which are void of arbitrary arrest or detention, and that if someone has been arrested for a supposed crime, it is but normal that that person should be brought to court and his charges read out to him and a chance given to him to defend himself instead of just holding him in a in a in a state of perpetual detention where he's not able to defend himself and nobody knows what exactly is happening to him. Now, again, in conclusion, I think if you were to summarize the whole speech, it was that of calling on all Ambazonians that this is the time for us to recommit and to re-engage, taking into consideration the opportunities that are bound at this given moment in our struggle. So, Honorable Thomas, I see you. I don't know if there's anyone else there. Please, can you just test your microphone? Let me make sure everything is okay. Honorable Thomas. Honorable Thomas, I saw you momentarily. Please, can you say something? Let me know you're okay.
Good afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, I just went through some of the items.
I don't know if
I was. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can hear me then fine.
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. I don't know if
Okay.
are you speaking?
Well, there is a point that I want to reiterate. Yes, unless
Yeah, just keep talking. Keep talking.
I can hear you five of. So I
Yeah, there are a few gaps in what you are saying. There are a few gaps in your speech and your statements. There are a few gaps here and there, but let's see how that works out. Just make your statement. If it's not coming through, I'll let you know.
if the situation.
All right. I think there may still be some issues with Officer Sama Thomas's audio. I think he can hear me, but his audio is not coming through very clearly. I think Chairman Patrick was called away for a work-related meeting. I was supposed to have Chairman Jackson here with me as well, though he was supposed to come in from another appointment as well. So, as I was saying, fellow Ambazonians, these are the highlights of what the President Comrade Chris has said, and we have to understand this. Given these opportunities, which as we were discussing with Chairman Patrick earlier, we have a situation in La Republic du Cameroon where they are just confused. They don't know what to do. Their so-called president, who was supposed to have come back from a long stay abroad, since coming back, we have not seen Paul Biya. I don't know. He's normally, like I was saying earlier, he normally crawls out from his tomb and pretends to address his people at this time of the year. I don't know if anyone has seen him. I don't know if anyone has seen him. I've not had the time to check to see if he came out today. But one thing that has been noticed recently is that several occasions where Paul Biya would normally appear, it is his wife, Chantal Biya, that has been doing so on his behalf. And she comes out assuming the position of the president of La Republic of Cameroon. And as someone was saying, all other ministers will stand behind her. That is very unusual, given the fact that, according to La Republic of Cameroon's own very constitution, she has not been given those powers. So I don't know what gives her the authority to operate in those situations as the leader of La Republic of Cameroon. So, fellow Ambazonians, I said earlier that there is an audio. It's in both French and a tone language, and it is from someone within the government of La Republique of Cameroon who is cautioning the Beti Bulu people that, look, you have had your opportunity for 40-something years, and you have done a lot of damage. You have hurt other people, and that he was telling them that he does not see the possibility of them maintaining power, and that what they should be doing is they should be bracing themselves for the hardships that are about to come their way. Because he is coming to terms with the fact that the Betis and the Bulus may not be able to retain power, or if they have to do that, then there will be a serious conflict within La Republique du Cameroon. That is why he was cautioning them and saying that they should be prepared to face the consequences of their bad leadership, their marginalization. The question is, how do we take advantage of this? Which is what Chris was highlighting in his speech. How do we take advantage of these troubles that La Republique has brought on itself? They planted this tree, and the tree has ripened and the fruit is about to fall. The only problem is this fruit is that which will bring chaos and disaster within the Cameroon. Isn't this the time for Ambazonians to put aside their own little differences, very small differences, grudges here and there, and come together, speak with one voice, and make sure that we are sharing our ideas, our resources, for the sake of saving ourselves from this eternal damnation if we have to continue to live with La République du Cameroon. We cannot continue to live with them, because living with them is like accepting to live a life of misery for who knows how long. There is no way. I have asked, when people talk, even within La République du Cameroon, some few friends who are still hanging on there, when you ask them, okay, show me the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to our cohabitation with La République du Cameroon. Show me one thing that points to the fact that if we continue to be with them, that at some point things will get better. And they cannot point to anything. They cannot see. It's impossible, because you look at the same corrupt people, they have been there forever. The succession is uncertain. They are talking about their elections in 2025. Who is actually running for president in La République in 2025? Is it Frank Biya? Some people are still calling for Paul Biya to run for president. I don't know if they want a guy to get out from a coma to come and run for president. But who is actually running for president there, and who is controlling the elections, that you hope that things will change? So these are the things that we have to take a note of and realize that there is no hope for us as long as we are with those people. They don't like us. And first of all, they are bad managers. They don't know how to manage anything. Even within their own country, they are not able to execute a single project and do it right. Now, we also see at the international level, we see opportunities that are coming up with the new government in the United States, where it is one that can get up and make certain decisions without thinking about waiting to get the approval of maybe many people. If they know that something is right, they may just get up and do it. So if we make the right contacts, we talk to the right people and present our case in the right format, I think there is a possibility that we can make some really serious progress in the year 2025. Then when it comes to us coming together, please, I know that there have been several initiatives out there. We have the Consultative Commission. We have people talking about reconciliation and other initiatives. How about this? Let us just come together. If you think that your idea is the best one, let us come together. Put these ideas together, and have a debate about what is best for Ambazonia at this time. This is going to start with a meeting of the leaders, the leadership summit that is coming up this early 2025. And thereafter, the groundwork will be laid for an all-Amber conference. Come forth with your ideas, sell it. If it is good enough, Ambazonians will buy it. But this is not the time to sit back and criticize and just kick and push things around, kick things around. It's not going to help us in any way. But we have to learn to communicate, to listen to each other, and to be able to debate without animosity. Let your ideas speak for themselves. Let your ideas alone speak for. If you think your idea is the best, come forth and sell it. If it is good enough, people will buy it and it will be adopted. So that is what those are some of the things that we should be focusing on in this year 2025. I mean, so fellow Ambazonians, again, we cannot thank our freedom fighters on the ground enough. We cannot thank them enough. They have stood their ground for the past 8 years. It is our responsibility to come together, putting together the necessary resources that they need so we can continue to support them. While we do that, we encourage them and we guide them on how to interact with our civilian population. This is very important. This is very important, fellow Ambazonians. We have to continue to educate and to coach, to guide them so that they are doing the right thing for our population, so that we distinguish their own performance from rogue elements who come in and they use the name of our liberation fighters to go out there and commit crimes. We have seen situations where our own restoration fighters have gone out and arrested some of these characters, which I saw a video just recently of two of them somewhere, I think it was somewhere in Tuba. They go out and they pretend to be Amba fighters and they are harassing the population. And our freedom fighters had to hunt them down and arrest them. So these rogue elements do exist. And some of them are even La Republique du Cameroon criminal soldiers who go out and they change and they dress like Amba fighters to go out and do these things in order to turn our civilian population against our fighters. They do these things intentionally, and they have been caught in several instances. So do not allow the behaviors of a few bad elements to soil the reputation of our brave freedom fighters who are doing a tremendous job of defending our territory and protecting our people. Again, we encourage those who may have made mistakes. Please change your ways. You have seen what has happened to those who chose to do the wrong thing instead of protecting our civilians. When you protect our civilians, they will make sure that you are safe. They will give you safe passage. They will feed you. They will alert you when the enemy is coming. That is how the Cambodians were able to withstand even the advanced military of the United States of America, because the Cambodian fighters were very good to their civilians. There was no, you did not know who was a Cambodian fighter as compared to their civilians. That is how we need to operate. So again, we want to first of all thank the sacrifices of our brave fighters who have stood their grounds. They have defended our territory and they are doing a tremendous job. Let us continue to support them. As for the diaspora, I know there are many of us out here who have done a lot and are still doing a lot in terms of supporting this struggle. But there are also some who have been in this struggle for some time and decided to step back because of one grievance or the other. I'm calling on you again. This is the time to recommit and to re-engage. And for those who have never even thought of the need to do so, let us remember that for those of us who are in the diaspora, the only reason we are in the diaspora is because someone sacrificed to make these places what they are for us to enjoy. And it is not a stretch for you to at least return the favor, first of all, to your own people, your own homeland, the place where your own placenta was buried. It is only fair that you do something, not because it's going to benefit you directly, but it's something called paying back, returning the favor, doing something as a sacrifice, not because it's going to benefit you directly, but even if it doesn't benefit you directly, what about just having the pride of knowing that the place where I was born is doing better, so that if someday you want to go and visit, or your children want to go and visit, that the situation will not remain the same, and maybe worse. So it is only but normal and just and right that we do the right thing for our own homeland by recommitting and making sure that you come in with your own ideas and your own resources to make sure that that place is saved from this extortion, exploitation that we have experienced for almost over 60 years. So these are some of the points that the President Comrade Chris highlighted in his speech today. And I just thought that I should, again, bring them to you. You listen to the speech yourself. And I'll call on you for those who have not been able to watch it, you can share it with them, make sure it goes around so people can understand what exactly he said with regards to how far we have come and the opportunities that lie ahead in the year 2025. I can tell you that this 2025 has a lot in store. It has a lot in store for us, but we have to be able to rise up and take advantage of these opportunities that are in the horizon. We have to be able to rise up and take advantage of these opportunities. So, fellow Ambazonians, unfortunately, we have not been able to have our panelists have been having some technical issues joining us, but I was glad to have Chairman Patrick earlier in the show, who at least helped to share some of the ideas and explain exactly where we are at this moment. I will not want to hold you again too much, but what I would say is that ABS is back. ABS is back. I know some of our detractors had been spreading some false rumors out there. I really don't know why we do this to ourselves. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. We are very good at doing things that are not very helpful to ourselves. So we need to get out of this mentality. It's not helpful at all. It's not helpful to anybody. It's certainly not helpful to the struggle. ABS has been a very useful tool in propagating the messages of this struggle. And anyone who is truly an Ambazonian will not hesitate to appreciate what ABS has done and will continue to do in the days ahead. So, fellow Ambazonians, thank you again for watching. We will be back. We'll be back. Our normal programming will be coming back. The War Zone will be back. Other programs on ABS will be back, and even we may be having some new programming coming up. So I want to thank you for watching the show. Again, 2025 is in the USA here is a couple of hours away. It probably is already New Year's Day in places like New Zealand. It is almost New Year's Day in Ground Zero. Ground Zero will see it before us here. So let us all pray for a more prosperous and eventful year 2025. That let it be the year when Ambazonia is finally liberated. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it here for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.